So, a prominent person in the atheist skeptic community on the social justice warrior side decided to reach out to me privately about my last video rather than leave a public comment, which could then, possibly lead to a little backlash because he left a comment somewhere, right? Because it was a social justice issue, and those things get heated, and this is YouTube where they don't have, the numbers. But there's a reason why I'm leaving his name out of it. Part of which is he intended for this exchange to be private, even though I'm not engaging, other than to make this video. He said hi in one comment, and then said, when I didn't respond, too quick, in parentheses, private comments on your latest video. 1. The bloggers you mentioned did mention all this stuff earlier, but Krause threatened to sue, so the post came down. The BuzzFeed article even alludes to that. They told friends/conference organizers about their concerns, though, so I don't buy the idea that they were just sitting on the information until now. It had been out there for a while. For whatever reason, though, BuzzFeed chose to actually investigate the rumors. So I'm going to respond to that part right now. Being that we're part of the skeptic community, I like proof and evidence, right? How did these threats of lawsuits happen? How were they different than any other threat like that most of the time will be laughed off as a lol suit? Because allegations don't seem to be something that this crowd is very afraid of making with any other person, such as Shermer, or Dawkins. So why were they different? Did they come in written form from a lawyer? Can we see this letter from a lawyer? It seems like a lot of allusion and a lot of hearsay about it, but not a lot of concrete evidence to back up the claim that Lawrence Krause was threatening to sue these people. And the thought that they had told their friends, their close friends, that might be on the same speaking tour about Lawrence Krause, so that was enough, is bullshit. Because there are more people out there that could have been affected by this than just their friends. Lots of people go to these conferences. Why is it okay to just protect your own little tiny circle of friends from a threat like this? If it's important enough to protect them, then it's important enough to be fucking open about it and just put it out there so that other people might be warned. Where is your sense of altruism? Where is your sense of safety for the public, for the people who are coming to the conferences to see you speak? Where is your sense of safety for that if you're not going to be public with these things? If it's bad enough to spread rumors around with your own close circle, it's bad enough to let it be out there. Okay? Alright. So that's why it seems incredulous to me. Number 2 from his little comment here. I think it's silly to dismiss BuzzFeed as a source when they have a ton of good journalists on staff who have produced some really good pieces. You can criticize the article, but I don't get criticizing the source when it's a place that routinely publishes quality stuff on the journalism side. My response to this, as level-headed as I can make it, is it almost seems like BuzzFeed exists to give the shitlords and anti-social justice warriors here something to talk about. If they have nothing else to talk about, they can just pull up BuzzFeed, close their eyes, put their finger down on a random article down, just whatever it is, and make some content out of it and have a good laugh because their journalism is that shit. Okay? That, especially the lists. The clickbait lists. You know, BuzzFeed is just textbook extreme on the social justice warrior side. And for you to say this really shows me how out of touch you are with where the middle ground might be in the culture war between shitlords and SJWs. Okay? BuzzFeed is not unbiased in this, and they are not respected amongst many people, especially YouTubers, as being good journalists. And that's hard to say without, like, just cracking up, laughing, face palming and stuff. But I'm trying to be serious about. I'm not trying to start any more drama than there already is, which is, you know, weird. Let me just get to the last part of this. So he says, anyway, I'm not saying this because I agree with everything the people quoted in the article say or do. They've taken plenty of plot shots at me personally for no good reason. But since you'll probably talk about Krause stuff again in the future, just wanted to pass that along. So you assume that I might be likely to talk about Lawrence Krause again, but I have distanced myself from the atheist community and just being a content creator about that. I do get a lot more views when I talk about that drama, but if you look at my entire body of work here on YouTube, I am very likely to make videos that no one will watch and that are just for me, and that has been increasing in frequency, you know, because I don't like you guys, and especially you, and let me tell you why. I'm just going to call you Jack, or Mr. Meoff, as you like it, whatever you prefer. You personally lifted some information from my videos and did not give me any attribution for it, right? I was the one who did some research, found some stuff out, and then you would just watch my video and then just put it right into your content, okay? In particular, the one that I'm going to say is with regards the Jaclyn Glenn plagiarism incident. You were lifting stuff from my videos without attribution to who originally found out what was going on with the subsequent plagiarisms that she did. And at a certain point, it seemed like all of the SJW side of this decided very quickly, you know what, we need to forgive her. We need to forgive her very quickly because we are part of the problem if we're feeding the SJWs by jumping on her for plagiarism as well. And we are helping to remove a female voice from the atheist community. And that's, you know, she's female. We need more females. So we need to all stop, right? That's what it seems like happened, because the worst, most egregious part of it is when you stopped talking about the issue. She went on the Drunken Peasants podcast, and she told TJ Kirk it was just this one incident, and there's been nothing else, you know, and I promised to do better, and didn't call her out for the fact that there were already 7 or 8 other incidents that had been brought up, even by you. 2 of them came from my research, right? And then you just dropped it. You let her go on with this narrative of, oh, well, it was just that one time, and now I promise to be better. No, there were many different incidents. Let's say the Canadian atheist having his picture stolen and then having his watermark removed by her so that she could retweet it without attribution, so that she could get the credit for the joke, you know? How about that one? Hidai Moya's comment that she was reading like verbatim from in her video. You took that from my video, used it in your own content without attribution to me after it was found, and then you dropped it. You didn't hold her to task about having multiple incidents of plagiarism, and basically she gets to go on forever having content that isn't ripped off from people, which is decidedly different looking than it was before this issue came up, right? And she built her fan base on the atheist community. You know, she's, because of the way the algorithm on YouTube works, she's too big to fail now, right? She gets to have a career in this when other people work very, very, very hard at trying to build their channels to where they're sustainable so that they can do this sort of work. And she gets to just be there and be fluff now because you guys didn't hold her to task. Now, too big to fail, right? And for what? Because she was female? You know, at one point in time in the atheist community, Brett Keane was the biggest name on YouTube. There was a scandal about plagiarism, and now he's basically a footnote in the history of internet atheism. Right? A joke. Cannot support himself in this community. Right? Is not welcome. Demographic-wise, the thing that's different about each of them, one of them is fit and the other one isn't, and one of them is male and the other one isn't. So it's another case of, you know, the sexism of the social justice warriors, you know, the strange flavor of sexism and I'll just say looksism, you know, rearing its ugly head. You know, they purport to be the people that want to be free of prejudice and discrimination, and then they go ahead and show that, yeah, actually they do have preferences, and they will act upon that, you know, and they will help someone sweep something under the rug if they are of the demographics that they would want the community to be, you know. But if it's somebody who's an old crusty white guy who has a whole bunch of academic laurels, you know, we don't want our community to look like that anymore. We want people who are more diverse, you know, rather than letting people, I guess, on merit be famous. They want people to be on demographics be famous, and then merit, maybe. And so, yeah, I don't like you. I don't like many of the people around you. I don't like anyone on the atheist conference talking circuit, you know, and these are the reasons why, you know. I guess I'll see you maybe at a political rally for maybe somebody who has some progressive values that we both might support. But other than that, I don't want anything to do with you, because the ends and the means, okay? The ends and the means. To me, the ends does not justify the means that you are using, okay? And that's all I have to say, Jack. I don't want to talk with you personally, privately, about anything. Nor do I want to talk to anyone in Google Hangouts about this. I don't want to talk publicly with you. I don't want to be in the same room as you. I don't want to go to your conferences. I don't want to go to anything like that. I'm one of those people that got burnt out on all that.